If you do go on to enjoy today's video, do me a favour and hit that like button and of course subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Save up to 14% on coins and get an extra 5% off when you use the code TVM at checkout. Offer ends 1st of January. There are also chances to win free FUT21 coins over at u7buy.com. Link down below. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to a brand new video, and it is time for another predictions. This time it's Showdowns. A very difficult thing to predict, seeing as how we know absolutely sod all about this promo, what it is, when it'll drop, or anything like that, so it's pure speculation. However, I say that, there is an inkling. We had it last year, sort of, with Summer Heat. We had Summer Heat Showdowns. What they did was they chose a fixture, and they put two cards against each other like this. They put them both in as an SBC. You had to decide which one you wanted. You picked. I think you got a player pick at the end of it. You chose which one you wanted. And if that team, so for example in this picture here, we have RICHARLISON on the left, we have Lanzini on the right. They would drop those two as an SBC looking like they do. You choose one, and if Everton beat West Ham or vice versa, that card would be upgraded. Moving on to the next possible fixture, and that's going to be Frankfurt against Bayer Leverkusen. I've picked. I've tried to pick fixtures that are not like ridiculously high profile. Of course, there is going to be like a Liverpool Man United one in this video at some point. But like, I've tried to pick fixtures that are sort of, they're decent fixtures, they're solid fixtures. Maybe the teams are quite close in the league or something. But also for teams that don't have a tremendous amount of special items. I do sort of flip what I do in a little bit here. So we've got Jack Grealish and Fred. So Aston Villa against Manchester United. Is that a big fixture? I mean, Villa are playing well this year. Man United are doing all right as well. So it is definitely, it has potential. But also, Fred hasn't had a special card this year. He is sort of quote-unquote meta. Jack Grealish is easily Aston Villa's best player in real life and in the game. He already has an inform. I've gone on from that and given him an 85, but the winner from this would get maybe an 87 or even an 88, probably an 87. We've gone for Milan against Juve. That is a very big fixture. Milan riding high at the top of the Serie A right now. Juventus have won it for the last 2,900 years, I think it is, give or take, and they have a lot of special items. I'm thinking, who is it? What's his name? Dybala gets himself a headliner of some description, so I've gone with Demiral. Sort of similar positions as well. You know, would you prefer a right back? Would you prefer a centre back? And of course, if Juve win, that centre back goes really good. And same situation with this as well. Foden as a central card. Yes, he's 84 rated and he's much higher than Hudson-Odoi. However, Hudson-Odoi, if he gets an upgrade, he goes to like an 84, 85. He's already got 90 pace and 85 dribbling. That card would have 93, 94 pace, 90 plus dribbling. You'd have above 70 physical, maybe 80 passing, maybe even 80 shooting. Foden would have a little bit more pace, a lot more dribbling. It would be a good card, but would you prefer pace on the wing, even though it's a little bit lower rated, or would you prefer that central card? Liverpool against Southampton. Danny Ings going up against his old club. He already has an inform. Arguably should have more by now, but doesn't. Ward-Prowse stole one away from him, I think. So an 85 rated Danny Ings, and of course if Southampton beat Liverpool, he could go up to an 87 as well. That would be a decent card. Liverpool have a lot of special items as well, so that's why I've gone with Minamino. They could easily give it to someone like James Milner or something, but I went with Minamino because, again, it's that sort of, he's not as high rated as Danny Ings, but he has pace and dribbling, and with an upgrade, if Liverpool were to win, that would be a decent looking card. Very interesting situation here. Moy Gomez and Suarez. Villarreal against Celta Vigo. They're both actually left mids in FIFA, but they have both been centre mids in previous FIFAs. So I've switched them back over to centre mid. I've given them very nice boosts. They are unbelievably similar in the way that they play. So you've got, I mean, I've boosted them heavily both in defending. So maybe they don't boost one of them as high in defending as the other because they are so similar, there's almost no point. But yeah, we'll see. Willy Orban and Zagadou, this is probably the most interesting matchup that we have, really, because, again, I have massively boosted pace on both of these cards. And EA are doing this a little bit more this year than they have done in previous FIFAs. So with freeze items, for example, it's a random promo. It doesn't really make any sense, but they are boosting stats to make the cards more usable. I would like to see it in this promo as well. So Willy Orban and Zagadou already have fairly usable cards there. Not bad at all. But if one of them goes to an 85 or an 86, all of a sudden above 80 pace, close to 90 defending, Similar situation here. We have the battle of the English defenders, but in Italy. Roma's Chris Smalling, and we have Ashley Young of Inter Milan as well. Both in different positions. They offer different things, and I know most people would go for Smalling, but I'm sure there are people out there who would be interested in Ashley Young, especially as I've boosted the pace somewhat. His passing is now up, his dribbling's there, his defending's been boosted as well. He is a very, very good player with a boost if Inter beat Roma, which is fairly likely. That card would be incredible. I mean, Chris Smalling would as well, let's be honest. Ibrahim and NIANG against Dembele. Very even matchup here in two teams that are doing well in the French league. We have Rene against Lyon. They are very similar cards, to be honest. Of course, Dembele has much better physical. NIANG has slightly better passing. To be fair, Dembele is better. He just is. But at the same time, I don't know. NIANG does offer a little bit something more. Not so good for links, so maybe I've done a little bit of a wrong thing there. Maybe I should have boosted NIANG a little bit better. Liverpool against Manchester United is probably a fixture that they will choose for Showdowns. It's not for a few weeks, but still, I had to go through and give you an example of what I think they'll do. And when it comes to teams like this, like I said before, Man United already have an awful lot of special cards. Liverpool, nearly every single player has some sort of special item. So I've had to think outside the box a little bit here. Gone with two players that you would never normally use. Boosted them fairly heavily with their pace. They already had good defending anyway. Which one would you choose? And finally, before we have a look at some of the potential upgrades, we've gone for one outside of the top 5 leagues. I'd like to see this more often as well. So we've gone for the Dutch league. Bergwijn of Feyenoord against Kudus of Ajax. They both look really good. I mean, again, would you rather a winger with easier links in terms of Bergwijn, or would you rather a central player with a lot more pace but a little bit harder to link, especially if you haven't done foundations, so you can link him with Graven Birch. But either way, the potential upgrade for that card is absolutely unreal. Look at the state of that. That is a very nice card. 95 pace, 90 dribbling. To go alongside your, I don't know, Road to the Final Quincy Promise or something, or even your Graven Birch, that would be something to behold, wouldn't it? So this is what happens if Ajax win, or if Dortmund win, for example, against that in that sort of fixture of Dortmund against Leipzig. If Dortmund come out on top, this is the potential for that Zagadou card. 80 pace, 89 defending, 86 physical. I really hope that they boost the base stats quite considerably. That's what Chris Smalling would potentially look like, and I haven't really boosted him over what he would get anyway. So this is actually what the 86 Chris Smalling would probably look like. And I mentioned Fred as well. A lot of people might be questioning that, but an 87 rated Fred, all of a sudden, that is on par with what Kante would be, right? Or what Kante is in game. Obviously, he's not as high rated as Kante, not as high rated as the informed Kante, but still a viable option, especially as these are available as SBCs as well. Now, when I say predictions, I mean, there's an awful lot to predict here. First, you've got to predict the fixture, then you've got to try and predict which players they go for. And also, we don't really know what this promo is this year. They may have changed the idea of it. We're not sure. However, going off what Summer Heat's showdowns were last year, 2 fixtures, both in SBCs. You can only do one at a time, and the winner gets upgraded. So you are literally predicting the winner of the fixture. But at the same time, they both have little boosts, so you're not really missing out. It's like, right, I'm going to do one of these cards based on what they look like. Now, if they get upgraded, happy days. That's kind of the way you look at it. And I really hope that they go and give some of these sort of players with low pace to begin with, bigger pace upgrades just for the initial boost, and then maybe take it one step further. But I want to see cards that are not being used right now. I want to see cards that we don't see that often. And I want to see players that are not really used in FIFA. And I want to see them boosted, and I want to see them introduced into this showdown. If they do this every single week, it could add an extra dynamic to Team of the Week, and we could do predictions on it every week as well, because there are a number of fixtures that we could look at, and a number of players we could look at as well. Let me know what you think of those matchups and those players in the comments. Any of them tickle your fancy, and any of them that you would be straight in there to get done. I know of a couple, Fred, Matip, and maybe that Kudus as well. I'd be straight in there. If you have enjoyed this video and you like the concept of these showdowns, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for me, of course, and until the next time, goodbye.
Join the Betting Rebellion and find out what your football knowledge is really worth.